right, you guys, it is the morning of day 2 for the OLX Autos IMX 2022 event here in Jakarta, Indonesia. What you guys saw yesterday was all I captured from an event that was like 13 hours, from like 9 to 9 p.m. and beyond. People were here setting up before 9, stayed till after 9. I mean, just a huge, crazy type event. So much going on. I was on a 60-minute masterclass on the stage. I was meeting politicians. They have politicians here. They have thousands of people, the vendors. This is their mini SEMA, and it was nuts. It was crazy. This is day 2 though. I came a couple of hours early, so I have access to the building, what they have on display in a relative amount of detail. So it's a little bit loud in there with the music, but let's go. Starting right here, this Forester, you can win it. They're giving it away for anyone who attends. So literally, if you attend this event, you can win this. Somebody's about to win this today. I look forward to showing you guys who wins this Forester. So that's just one of the many perks, the giveaways, the merch, all the different things going on. So let's go into the building right now, and I'm gonna show you guys what we have going on in here in detail. Okay, let's get it. Alright, so they just turned down the music. They've been doing the, audio test for the second day. Oh, they're bringing it back, so we're not gonna really be able to hear me, so let's just keep moving it this way. So what's really cool about this Honda Brio is this is officially Honda of Indonesia's booth. This is a Honda Brio build that they have for Honda officially here. They did some collaborations with different people, a virtual modification competition type setup, and that Brio and this RS City are here. So you have these turbo fans on this company in the corner right when I came in, where that black CRX was, is beautiful black paint job. Really simple, but that's what happens when you have black, it just stands out. I really like the color. I mean, you guys know me, if you followed long enough the Prelude build, this kind of color tone has been kind of a thing for me. So this Brio really stood out to me. I like it, the functional height, tires actually, you can turn, drive it. City, these are just cars that we don't get in the States, so shout out to Honda of Indonesia for being here. And then you have this kind of contrast from this to this Chrysler. I mean, this build has a lot of presence and it's been turning a lot of heads just because the style of the wheels and the way it sits. I mean, wouldn't you guys agree? Few VIP builds right here that really stood out to us as the judges, from SEMAs to Celsiors, the wheel selection, the front and rear big brakes that they're using. I really wish all the lights were on right now, but this is the only time I can give you guys any type of walkthrough because Celebrity Build Off, which were the cars out front that I was showing you guys, this is not like SEMA. For those of us, in the West, on the States and everything like that, when you have a SEMA or something like that, there's tons of people, it's crowded, it's busy, you're rubbing shoulders with people, right? But there's a little bit of like decorum, right? There's like a certain amount of like manners that people have. It's just cultural. Here, it's more upbeat. It's more family oriented. There's throwing stuff off the stage. People are laughing, have a good time. The music is going. it's much more upbeat and crazy. So that's kind of what we have going on here, and it doesn't allow for me to show you guys a lot of these things. So let's do this right now, even though we got music in the background. Look, for example, front and rear AP big brakes with these SSRs. These are one of my favorites here. You see the brush finish, but front and rear APs. You know, with the multi-piece rotors. I mean, it's VIP, but they're addressing the whole front and rear brake setup. Big body bends, BBSs. Now right here you have these OZs. Beautifully done wheel. It's got a nice brush finish with clear. Project new brakes. The color match brakes. The interior, it's locked up right now, but it's got these two enclosures that are fiberglass with leather and plexiglass and hardware. I mean, it's got a lot of attention to detail, a little bit rough around some of the edges, but it has a hell of a lot of presence, let me tell you that right now. Speaking of presence, this Mercedes, can you imagine seeing this thing rolling down the street? Can you imagine seeing this SL500 rolling? I mean, pretty crazy, right? The yellow pearl, the flake in there, got a lot of presence. So we have these beautiful VIP builds, and then of course this Evo right here, which this booth's lighting is on point. I showed it to you yesterday with the lighting, really, really beautiful. The paint job here on that Evo stood out amongst many of the other cars for sure. This S15, even if you don't like the livery, if you don't like the colorway, dude, Wednesday 105 ends are super slept on wheels. They got the fitment down solid. I mean, when you pick the right aero for an S15, it looks like it's like an OEM plus setup. One of my favorite cars ever. I mean, come on, right? Even if you don't care for the colors they chose, the car is beautiful. Now, as far as competition, it's rough. It still has a lot of presence, in my opinion. Now, this Liberty Walk Mini Cooper on the green with the bronze copper wheels and all of this like forged type carbon parts. I gave you guys a glimpse yesterday, but I really wanted to walk you through it because, you know, it may not be everyone's style, but I mean, it stands out for a lot of reasons. Okay, so clearly with the lights not on, you're only gonna get a little bit of a feel, right? I'm using the flashlight from my phone and it's not really doing this thing justice, but from the custom molded interior pieces that fit quite well, the audio enclosure, the canister, the bent hard lines, and the backs of the seats done in this forged splintered carbon style. It's pretty gnarly, and they wrapped the cage, which may not be everyone's style, but look at the work here at the end plates. So even the end plates, pretty crazy, right? You gotta appreciate the wildness of it. I do. I hope you guys do too. Let me know in the comments. I mean, something like this, right? Mini Cooper, Liberty Walk, wide body, forged carbon, wrapping a cage. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think the aesthetic appeal of it overdoes or undoes the judgmental aspect that I'm sure many people have? I'm serious. Let me know, guys. I'm interested in how you feel, right? It is a show, it is a competition, but some people say nonetheless I hate it, and some people say I love it. So I want to know what you guys think about something like this, okay? Let me know. Listen, I've showed you guys this Toyota Innova van a couple of times, but that engine bay setup, taking a diesel turbo and really hitting these points the way that we have really become accustomed to now with high-end builds, engine bay setups, titanium clamps, AN lines, AN fittings, hardware, kind of everything that really makes me laugh, because we just don't really do that in the States, diesel setups, but they're taking these setups. Paint job in this bay is better than some of the paint jobs in here, outside surfaces that are smooth. You guys see what I'm talking about? So this and that green Innova have some of the best engine bay work I've seen in almost any type of car. Are there things that I think I would have done differently? Sure. Did they hit the attention to detail mark significantly? Hell yes. And then this van, they didn't go for the VIP look. They didn't dump it. It's got a lot of ride height, fat, meaty Bridgestone Potenza tires, and with the Brembo front and rear with the two-piece rotors, the Advans, come on. It's meaty, it's got contact batch, can move, it's got the braking power for it, it's got the compound, the rubber. Listen, man, being able to be in different cities in the States is an honor. Being able to travel across the world is an honor. Being able to be back, being brought back again to Jakarta, Indonesia from 2018 to 2022 has been wild. It's been an amazing, amazing experience, and day two is actually gonna be pretty nuts. It's because the way that they express their gratitude for what they witness online and magazines and publications, and they follow SEMA and they follow different builders like Ryan from Rywire, we came together in 2018. You know, it's the internet, right? So maybe it's so normal to people, right? But to me, it's actually still amazing that they say that they pay attention to what different builders in Japan and the US are doing. I mean, bringing Toshi, the CEO of Liberty Walk, to be a part of this event, and myself, and Musa, who's the head designer at West Coast Customs, and that alone is an example of what we're talking about. You know, the diversity of what they watch, who they watch, what they follow, why they follow it is pretty crazy, right? And I will never ever allow myself to get used to this type of honor, right? The minute that you get used to something, the minute that it becomes normal, I feel like that really loses the luster and where you should really be grateful. So That's just me, right? I always try to maintain a very, very level-headed perspective, but yet remain aware of the reach and the fact that everyone here is telling me that my engine bay setup on the Prelude to this day is still the bar, is still the reference point for how to do certain turbo aspects, certain coatings, certain layouts. The fuel setup on my car, builders in Indonesia are telling me that it's still an inspiration to them and that they want me to bring it here. They started talking to me about that, and the guys who throw IMX already have outgrown this hall, and they're talking about expanding 2, maybe 3 extra halls. The Prelude coming over here to Jakarta to be on display. So I don't know if it's actually gonna happen. There's logistics and finances and customs and all these things that we have to figure out, but at the same time, who knows, right? So shout out to these guys too. I happen to be in front of their booth. Their lighting is incredible. They got this Benzo limo, check it. I mean, listen, guys, diversity, quality, all here in Indonesia. Their automotive scene continues to grow and surprise me. I mean, here we are about an hour before the vendors start coming in. The public will come in 2 hours, and I wanted to give you guys a bit of a walkthrough. Some of the cars are not well lit at the moment. Some of them are covered up to keep them clean. Here we are, and this mini type SEMA is growing and growing. You got Tokyo Auto Salon on this side of the world. You got SEMA on our side of the world, and the US side of the world, and then you have IMX, which is starting to really forge its way into being a contender as far as representation. So shout out to all the Indonesian people. You guys are incredible, and we are going to continue moving through. I'm going to show you what they have in the foyer outside of this hall right here, all right, because there's more, right? So let's roll.